I'm Big Will Levinson here at Rifle High School alongside the new athletic director and boys basketball coach of the Rifle Bears, Coach Cory Hitchcock. He's new here at Rifle High School, but he's not new to the Western Slope. Of course, formerly the Palisade Bulldogs head boys basketball coach, but after a year down in Texas as the women's basketball coach at Texas A&M Texarkana. Boy, it is so great to have you back out here on the Western Slope, Coach Hitchcock.
I appreciate you having me, man. We're happy to be back. My family is ecstatic, and we're just excited for this new journey.
It's awesome. And, you know, it's so cool to kind of go from a basketball coach primarily now to step into that next big athletic director role. I'm curious, when you're at Texas A&M Texarkana and you hear this call and you know this job is open, how did that process kind of go from your perspective? When you first heard about it, what did you think?
You know, it was definitely intriguing. I was the associate athletic director at the college as well.
Okay.
So kind of when they had reached out to me, you know, we were in a good spot. My family and I really did enjoy it there, but nothing's like home. And the Western Slope is home for us. And so when Mr. Johnson reached out to me and we discussed some things and met with pretty much a committee and I just spoke with them. It was awesome. It felt like home, and I'm excited to be back.
It's awesome. And, you know, just a year ago, you were here. It was 3 years at Palisade High School with the Bulldogs. Just what does it mean for you and your family to get to come back out here? I mean, you know, Texas doesn't have these beautiful mountains. Just looking out here at Rifle High School, the unbelievable views we have here at Rifle, just, you know, how awesome is it for you to get to once again call the Western Slope home?
You know, I'm excited. You know, Palisade was awesome. We loved it there. We also enjoyed our time at Glenwood Springs. And,
right.
You know, I think anytime you come out here and you're driving on the 70 and you see the mountains and the beauty around,
it's amazing.
Nothing can replace this.
Right.
And so definitely missed the mountains while we were down in Texas and the fresh air and all the good people that are here in Colorado, and just very, very blessed, man. I can't speak enough about how excited we are to be back.
That's awesome. And, you know, kind of talk about this school now and this athletic program in general. You know, it's a football team that we've seen have great success. It's a basketball team that struggled over the last couple of years. What are you trying to bring from both, you know, an entire athletic perspective, but also from the basketball side as well?
Yeah, you know, first off, we just want athletics to be great again, consistently from top to bottom.
Right.
You know, when I was at Glenwood, Rifle was really, really good. Roger Walters, especially with the basketball program, had them rocking and rolling. You know, back then Damon was the football coach. I think Ty's doing a heck of a job with our football program. You know, I want to raise the level of the basketball play here and get it back to where I know they can be. And as far as the rest of our athletics, you know, our boys soccer team's really been doing some great things.
Oh, yeah.
We got a new cheer coach that I'm really excited about. You know, he's going to do some great things with our cheer team. You know, our volleyball coach is really building a great program. Our cross-country coach is doing some great work and increasing in her numbers. And there's so many great things that are happening in our sports department since I've been here in late April that, you know, I'm really, really excited in the direction that we're heading. We have a lot of work to do to get us to where I think we really should be. But, you know, I'm ready for that job and to push these coaches to the next level and have them push these student athletes to the next level.
It's awesome. And, you know, it's been a year since I've seen you back when you were at Palisade, but I'm curious, how was the last year for you? What was that experience like getting to be, you know, in a completely new place, Texarkana,
right.
And, you know, being a women's basketball coach at the collegiate level, then also an associate AD as well?
Yeah, you know, it was a great journey, you know, and I'm a big man of faith, and I think I was on a journey for a reason, and I think that journey might have led me here.
Awesome.
And so, you know, Texas A&M was great to us. The young ladies that we coached were awesome. You know, they would come to our house. My wife did an incredible job of making sure that they were well taken care of with food in their bellies,
that's awesome.
Medicine, whatever they needed. But it was a real family atmosphere. You know, we lost quite a few games by 5 points or less, so we were pretty much in games. But we knew rebuilding that was going to be a task, and I thought we did an incredible job with that group of young ladies, and they really did a good job responding to the challenges that we put forth. And you know, as far as helping our athletic director at that time, you know, it was a blast. I was in charge of a lot of eligibility stuff and compliance, and that was a good learning experience for me, which I think helped me for this job here. And so, I don't take away that journey in Texas at all. Moving away for a year, I didn't, if I knew I was going to move back, I don't know necessarily if I want to move my family away for a year. But like I said, every story happens for a reason, and I'm just thankful that it led us back here.
It's amazing, right? To come back and to do it in this role, in this position, leading a school, leading, sort of what feels like there's a lot of momentum building with Rifle with you coming on board. And, like Principal Johnson told me, they were looking for someone with energy. And that was clear throughout my time covering you at Palisade. Unrelenting energy. And that's what I think should be exciting for a lot of the students here, is that's what you're going to bring here to the Bears.
Absolutely. I'm passionate about working with kids. We talked at our coaches meeting this week about what's your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you in it for wins? Are you in it to helping these student athletes become better people? And I challenge them to really think about their why before their season start. And, for me, my why is, I really want to have an impact on these young men and women and be a positive influence on them. And then, the same thing with our coaches. I want to help them be the best that they can be and help them grow. And I want to serve others. And I just think it's a great opportunity for me to do that. And I think the coaches, they got great attitudes. I think they were, were excited when I got jumped on board, and I think they love the fact that I'm very organized and structured and I would say reliable. And so I think that's helped a lot.
It's awesome, yeah. When I first found out about it, I was excited because, I saw the work that you did at Palisade, and obviously I followed you on Twitter and saw, the work you were doing down in Texas as well. And having that college experience, it's huge to come back to the high school level. It gives you a different perspective. But, we're about a few weeks away from football season here, and that's, what's on my mind.
Right.
And you're still obviously the basketball coach, but being the athletic director, overseeing all of the athletics. I want to talk some football. Obviously now it's year 3 for Ty Lay, but what are kind of the expectations for this team? I know a lot of struggles last year, but it was a lot of young guys who saw a lot of playing time, and that's going to be huge for experience for this season.
Right. I think Ty, I've been out to football practice a couple times this week. Him and his staff are doing an incredible job. Like I told him, you have to go through those ups and downs, especially in high school athletics. It's hard to stay consistent, but keep plugging away, stay consistent in what you're doing, keep doing the things that you've been doing, and it's going to turn around. And just the energy that they have out there right now has been incredible. And they had a great summer. They had a great time at camp and were very successful. And I think they're going to bring a lot of different energy this year that they didn't have last year. And I'm excited for it. Their leadership team on their football team has been incredible. And I'm just really pumped for Ty that he gets the experience of, he was at the high, the low, and now he's going to bring it back to the high. And they're going to surprise a lot of people this year.
I really hope so, and that would be great for us because, boy, what a starting game to begin the season at home against the Grand Junction Tigers. I mean, that is marquee matchup at the top, especially after last season, the way it went, domination by the Tigers. The Rifle Bears are going to be looking for their revenge.
Absolutely, and Coach McKee does a great job down there.
Oh, yeah.
He's an awesome man, and, he's going to have those boys prepared. And, our job, we just want to show up and give ourselves a chance to compete and put ourselves in a position when it's crunch time to win a football game. And I think, they're not even worried about that game yet. Right now I think their focus is on Golden and 0 week.
Oh, right, the week 0 game.
Yep, and going to Golden and playing against them. But I know that when it's time to prepare for Grand Junction, Ty and his staff will have those boys ready to go.
Well, we'll hopefully have some previews for that game. Of course, as you mentioned, forgot about that game. Rifle going on the road to Golden, which is, I love that, obviously this is just their second year in 3A. So to be able to go on the road and take on one of the premier programs in the 3A classification, that's just great experience for those kids, especially before you're about to play a 4A school in Grand Junction the week after that.
Yeah, the one thing, if you look at our schedule, for football, it is not a weak schedule.
No.
And so, that was the one thing, Ty wanted to play the best teams and compete against the best teams and kind of see where they were at. And, as we continue to grow in our athletic department and we continue to grow in our football, I challenge our coaches to play good teams so you can really push yourself to get better. And, Ty and his coach staff and his players are not going to shy away from playing those teams, and I don't want them to. I know last year there might have been some rough times during those games, and But this year they're going to use those as a learning moments and utilize it this year to be better.
Well, if we learned anything about Western Slope High School football over the last couple of years, year to year, there's almost no similarities. I mean, look at Grand Junction winning 3 games in two years, winning 10 games last season. You can turn it around so quickly. Obviously, Rifle, the highest of highs 2 years ago, going to the state championship, and then kind of feeling taking a step back for a year. But that's helpful for those young guys to get the experience, and now they know what it takes to work hard and to continue to get better. And as we mentioned, third year in a system, third year with a culture,
right?
That's when you can really take that next step.
Absolutely, and when you think about the league that they're in as well, right?
Oh yeah, and it got tougher last year moving up to 3A.
Right, and so I think that only helps us and prepares us to really show up and be ready to compete, because they know that every time they show up to the field, it's going to be a dogfight. They like to say, you know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, those guys are ready, and I'm ready. I'm excited to see what they do, and there's going to be a lot of excitement. We have some new guys that are coming back to play football that hadn't played in the past.
Okay.
I know they're excited about getting guys to return and come back and play, and so and we have some seniors, that are going to come out here and do a good job leading these group of boys. And we have great numbers right now. I mean, that's another thing. We're sitting around that 60 mark, 65 mark, which is really good. So Ty's doing an incredible job in building that program up, and awesome. I'm excited. Football season, as you know, there's nothing like Friday Night Lights.
Nothing like
I may be a basketball coach, but I love football, and I'm really excited to support these coaches and the teams here, and I'm blessed to be able to be in this position and lead this athletic department. It's
a great opportunity, and it really is great to have you back here on the Western Slope. Keep an eye. We'll have a full Rifle football preview coming in the next couple of weeks. August 22nd. It's starting fast, just 2 weeks from now, on the road in Golden. A tough test for the Rifle Bears, and then after that, the week after, we can't wait, Grand Junction in town against Rifle. But after football season will come basketball season. Your time to shine. Your time to really involve yourself in what's going on the court. What are some of the things about this basketball program that you're looking forward to kind of, maybe building a culture and turn this Rifle Bears program into a winning program?
I think first off, it started this summer, right? When I took over, we met with the team. I flew out here in April,
nice.
Met with all the coaches within our athletic department, kind of picked their brain on some things, kind of let them know where my vision was, and kind of wanted to see what their vision was. And then I met with the players and their parents, and kind of told them the same thing. And then we did obviously some summer stuff, and we had a great summer. I was really pleased with their effort, and the guys are hungry, right? They want to be pushed. They want to get better. They were not satisfied. I mean, 4 games last year, 9 games in total in the last 3 years. They haven't really got to experience any winning. And so as we prepare for our season, I know our guys are excited, and we're going to bring a lot of energy and juice. We're going to really, like all of my teams, be defensive minded and really get after it. And these guys are hungry for it. And so I think we're going to surprise a lot of people, and it's going to be good. I think that Rifle, we might be a smaller school, but we do have the ability to be very, very good in a lot of sports. And we're really good. We have a lot of multiple sport athletes in our school, which is awesome.
Yes.
I mean, we have some that do 3 sports in a season. And so, these young student athletes, they really want to be involved and compete. And so, as far as basketball, man, I can't wait. I'm really, I'll be honest, I've been so busy, I haven't even really thought about basketball. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure all the fall sports are getting rolling. We started football and boys golf, which we got a new boys golf coach, and he's bringing a ton of energy to the team. But we started that this past Monday, and then, of course, the rest of the sports start coming up Monday, so I've been kind of just making sure that they're ready to go. So I haven't really had a chance to sit back and think about basketball, but you know me, Big Will, man. I love basketball, and I'm excited for these young guys to get out there and compete and be able to showcase that their abilities and what they're able to do.
It's all getting started, right? Here we go.
Yeah.
Fall sports just like that. It restarts once again. It's another great season on the way on the Western Slope. And listen, you can say what you want about the numbers, about the size of the town, but you cannot question the work ethic of these students here at Rifle. It's a working class town, and it's just been noticeable to me going out to football practices and seeing you guys play basketball. I mean, these kids, they are going to work for it. Now, you coming in, fresh new energy. It just feels like there's a lot more desire than there's ever been before here at Rifle.
Yeah, I mean, obviously energy bleeds, right?
Yep.
And so, I think all of our coaches, we got a lot of new coaches in the building that are hungry and want to be successful. And I think, we are, our band director, our marching band director, and our drum line, they all want to be a part of it. So I think the environment's going to really change here. And I really want to bring an exciting environment to Rifle. When, I want to make it, when you come here, you're going to experience a home crowd that you haven't seen before.
I love
it. So there's a lot of energy, not just from me, from all our coaches, from the kids. I think that when you have an athletic director that's passionate and excited and comes in with fresh ideas and comes in and starts revamping things and investing in some things, the kids and the coaches see it and it motivates them. They want to get back on board. And we have a great coaching staff that we sat down and collectively, and there's been a lot of great ideas that have been spit out to me. Apologize. And I tell them all the time, let's make a list and see what we can accomplish year by year and try to get some things that are very important for our school to get rolling. But this is a hardworking town, right?
Absolutely.
And we got kids that want to put in the work, and our coaches want to put in the work, and I love that, and one of our T-shirt mottos, and I don't want to reveal it at the moment, but it definitely displays the attitude that we have in this town, and I'm excited to wear off that T-shirt, man.
It's awesome. It really feels like you take that on, that sort of working class attitude, and you've climbed the ladder, right? Just 2 years ago, basketball coach at Palisade, then college coach, and now here, running the show for the athletic program at this great school of Rifle High School. And you mentioned, the great atmosphere at sporting events and football games. I'm just thinking about, especially earlier in the season when it's, 7 o'clock, sun's starting to come down up there on the mountains, that football field. You're like you're in heaven. It's just, it doesn't even look real the way the mountains surround you. It's one of the most picturesque backdrops that we have in all of Colorado, all of America, right here at Rifle High School. I want to go back to basketball quickly. Are you guys going to be at the Warrior Classic or the Warrior Challenge earlier this season?
We're not. We're going to be at the Kent Denver tournament.
Okay.
So we're on the second year of our cycle.
Got it.
That might be something that we look to get into the next cycle, so starting next year. But no, we're not in it this year. Unfortunately, I think that's a great tournament. They usually do a great job down there. I think everything that's, District 51 does an amazing job really running elite events. Paul Kane's awesome.
Yep.
All those ADs in that league are awesome. One of my mentors, Greg Hawkins, is awesome. Paul Kane, I lean on a lot. And so we're not heading down there this year, unfortunately, because the schedule's already made. But it might be something that we do in the future, something that we evaluate and we start working on the schedules for next year.
Well, it'd be awesome. It's always great to have Western Slope teams, as many as we can, at Central for that tournament. But I do want to ask, I don't know when you guys, or even if you guys play Palisade, if they're on the schedule this year. I don't know if you're coming to the Winter Classic.
For basketball?
Yes.
No, we don't play them this year.
Okay.
That's probably, it might be a good thing only because those kind of games bring so much energy and passion to it. And a lot of those players I was fortunate and blessed to coach.
Right.
And there's an amazing group of young men, and I've got to watch them grow up over the years. And so I'm sure they would really want to stick it to me, and of course I would want to win too as being a competitor. But no, we don't play them this year.
That would have been cool to see.
It would have. Sid's doing a great job there. He really is. He's, I followed them last year and rooted for him, and still reach out to the guys and talk to them. And it's so fun watching all those boys really just grow their game and do what they did last year, man. What an incredible year. What an incredible year they had.
Man, such a heartbreaker. I was talking to LJ Ballinger a couple days after that playoff loss on the road at Shine Mountain. I mean, got it to overtime against a much higher seed, and they fought, and they almost came away with what would have been a huge program altering type win. But those kids fought so hard, and they're going to return a lot of talent. Obviously, Carter Hayward, Hunter Howard, to name a few. It's an exciting group down there, and maybe luckily for you guys, you don't have to worry about them on the schedules.
Yeah, they were prepared for that, right? We played them when they were young.
Yep.
And they got a lot of experience. And like we had talked about off camera, when you get young guys and you give them those kind of minutes, all they can do is get better and grow and develop. And it's just been awesome. I still root for those kids.
Yeah.
They're all amazing. And so I want them to be successful, whether they're playing basketball, football, or just in school. I just want to see them be successful.
It's awesome. I want to end with this one more question for you. Obviously there's a lot on the mind. There's a lot to think about. I'm sure there's plenty that excites you. But if there's one or two things that come to your mind first, what are you most looking forward to, especially early on, your first couple months? Obviously, school starting just on Monday.
Right.
What are some of the things that you are most excited about with this new role here at Rifle High School?
I would say the biggest thing is just changing the culture within our athletic department and with the kids and getting them excited to be a Rifle Bear and being excited to participate in our athletic department. I think for me, just having them be successful on and off the field or court, is huge for us. So just as much as we want them to be successful on the field or the court, I want to see more success in the classroom. So increasing those GPAs and giving more back to our community and helping out in those ways. So, when I was the assistant athletic director at Glenwood Springs High School, Craig Denny was really big about serving. He's probably, I would say, my main mentor, right? He's the one that really got me to fall in love with being an athletic director and giving back. And so when he talked about serving and providing and helping your community, it always stuck with me, and I've always tried to make sure that we do that. And when I was in Texas, I mean, our team, we committed over 40 hours of community service while we were down there this past year.
That's awesome.
And so it's really big on my mind. And I would love to see us give back to the community a little bit more and get involved. Man, it's amazing with Fair Week here this week. And we got a lot of kids working at the fair and volunteering their time and helping out there. So, no, man, I really want to just help change the culture and get everybody on the same page and build a foundation where we all are working together as one collective unit. And you know how that goes in anything that you do. If you get everybody on board and rowing in the right direction, man, you know what can happen. A lot of great things. And so I'm excited to see what our future holds.
I too. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see you grow, this program grow, and just the entire Rifle athletic program just continue to improve as years go on. It may not happen overnight. It takes time to build that culture, but as Principal Johnson said, you're here for the long haul. So that's great to hear. And it's, once again, so great to have you back on the Western Slope. This has been so much fun.
I appreciate it.
It's so great to see you again.
Hey,
I mean,
man,
one of my favorite coaches, basketball coaches that I've gotten a chance to cover out here on the Western Slope. So it's just great to have you back out.
Hey, man, thanks for reaching out to me, man. When I saw you reach out to me, I was in shock. So thanks for thinking of us. Sometimes I think people forget about the little guys in the mountains. And so so you've always been so good to make sure you take care of all the schools on the 70 close to Junction. And I just appreciate and value your work ethic and what you do for all these student athletes. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you. You guys make it easy. This program, it's fun to cover. And, well, I can't wait for football season to head out to that stadium and see these guys go to work and see the continued improvement. And it's all starting now. Fall sports are here. School starts Monday right here at Rifle High School. This has been a blast. But for Coach Cory Hitchcock, I'm Big Will Levinson saying goodbye from Rifle High School.